What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So you can see I have this boat here. It is a Mastercraft. Used to be like a wakeboarding ski boat. It's been equipped with ballast and whatnot to be able to surf behind it. When you're surfing behind it, you get a lot of exhaust in your face because you're a lot closer to the boat with the exhaust here and the flappers. So what we're going to do is create it's called an FAE system, fresh air exhaust. So what it's going to do, it's essentially going to Y and then be in the water. So when you're surfing behind it, it's not blowing the exhaust straight to your face. I'm going to show you a few ways. We're going to start to mock it up, take some of the parts off, and get everything eventually one piece to where it looks good. So you can see I got a few parts here. They're 90-degree stainless steel pipe. They're 3-inch and 3-inch straight pipe here. So this piece here, it's just a flat piece of stainless. What we're gonna actually do is remove these flappers here. And once we remove those, we can actually use these to mock up our plates to be able to weld the piece here so it actually has something to come off on. Because it's going to need to stick off probably 2.5 inches or so to be able to put the 90s, to be able to attach the 90s here. So you can see when they're attached, they're going to Y and then it's going to go straight down. We want to keep it about 4 inches away from the rudder, so it's going to be a lot closer, and then it's eventually just going to look straight down just like that. Should be pretty simple. A little bit of fabrication involved, not too much. I got a 3.5-inch piece coming, so when it Ys together, it'll be able to attach and then have a bigger piece so it doesn't create a lot of back pressure, because this has a 350 small block. It's the Vortec Chevy 350. So you don't want a lot of back pressure on it, have it making as much power as possible. So should be pretty fun. Stick around and we'll get this thing together.
So I'm getting the rubber flappers off here because I want to draw the flanges and get them cut out to be able to fit them in place.
So now we got these traced out. You can see, went off of that. It fits perfectly in there, so we know these will fit as well. So we'll get these cut, and then we're gonna get the holes for the screws mocked up, and then figure out the size. Obviously 3-inch. We'll get a hole drilled out, and then get these get about a 2.5 piece welded onto these, and then that part will be finished. Once that's done, then we can move on to the actual full fabrication of the FAE system. So if this fails, we can always go back to this. We don't want to though. It's not going to fail. So we're going to get these cut out just like this. Alright, now that these are cut out, what I want to do is, I know these holes line up to the top parts on the exhaust. So what I'm actually going to do is, they're essentially the same. I'm going to center it. I'm going to punch these holes on both of them, and then that'll allow me to line up the other holes. What I'll do is I'll back the screws out. Here, I'll show you. So what I'll do is I'm going to back these screws out here. Once I back those out enough, I'm going to put some sort of marker on them. I don't know if I can use like RTV or something like that. I'm going to screw these in, and that'll give me the placement of these bolts so I can drill the holes, pull these out, seal it, and then close it up. Once we get these holes marked, that'll allow me I can measure from here to here, here to here. That'll give me the center point, so now I can know where to drill this hole on the plates. That'll give me the center point, so then I can hole saw this to allow the exhaust to fit. I just feel like it'll make it easier, so let's try it out. So we'll get it centered as best as possible. They're not perfect circles, but they'll work. now we'll get these drilled out, get them on to where the old exhaust used to be. That'll give us our other holes. All right, so I didn't record how I got the holes, but what I did was, you can see I put valve grinding compound on each head. I backed them off just a little bit, and then I screwed in these two top parts, and it gave me the marks for each screw. So I did that on both sides, got them drilled out, and then I'm going to drill them bigger to match these screws. And then I also have this guy so that it'll match the shoulder on the screw, so it'll sit flush, make it look a little bit better. So we're going to get these drilled out all the way, and then we'll find our center, hole punch that, and then we can get to welding on about a 2.5 inch piece of the 3-inch pipe. There you go. So we got these done. I got them, I don't know what you would call that, shouldered, I don't know. I use that little guy there. That's on the end of the bit. And we got our center marks. So now what I'm gonna do, being that that's 3-inch, I'm gonna cut out, I usually don't like to do 3-inch because then it makes it too big. So I'm gonna do like 2 3/4. And then if I have to, I will grind it out to make it fit the pipe. But we're gonna get to drilling this, and then we'll cut 2.5 inch long to fit this. So it shouldn't be no longer than that. 2.5 inches, about half of this. We'll get these welded on, and then we'll seal them and reinstall them on here, so then we can start fabricating everything else. There we go. There's the flanges. So those are going to be the ones that go into there, and the couplers are going to attach to this. That creates the FAE system. I'll include a picture right here. This is ultimately, hopefully, what it's going to look like. It won't be as perfect, but it's going to look good. It's going to work for what I need it to do. That's going to be it for tonight, though. I'll keep this video going. I have this car here I'm building an exhaust for, and once I get done with that, I'll jump back on this.